Hello and welcome everybody to the Virtual Velocity Season 3 Porsche Cup Round 2. Brought to you by those partnered with the TTASA Esports and the FIA. This is Calypso Racing. Hope you're having a wonderful evening, morning, or good night wherever you are in the world at this time, folks. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's a pleasure, as always, to be your host. I'm Sagar Bakshi, a.k.a. The Real High, and we're going to take you from green to checkered flag here at Sebring International. Drivers have already started their qualifying runs and are completing their outlaps, but first we got to take a look at the calendar, see where we've been and where we're going up to next. We've run things around at the Red Bull Ring. Then it's Sebring International. Next up will be Spa-Francorchamps. Following that will be Monza, the Watkins Glen Boot, and then finishing things off at Road Atlanta just in time for Petit Le Mans, folks. It'll be a great time. Looking forward to this championship series. We've got a handful of drivers that are familiar across various leagues down south, and we'll be sure to get their names mentioned in due time. And we have some Calypso Racing elites with us as well. Familiar faces to some, not so familiar faces to other. What's up, Silver Turkey? Thank you very much for joining us in the YouTube chat. Really appreciate your continued love and support, brother. Let's take a look at the prizes we have up for grabs. We have iRacing gift cards, we have a Stream Deck Mini, and we have a Stream Deck available for grabs for the first three drivers, or positions 1, 2, and 3 at the end of the season in this championship. So make sure you sign up at Calypso Racing Community on the Discord and get involved in some of the racing action. Maybe you can find yourself on stream and caught on camera doing something funky and or amazing. Without any further delay, let's head right over to the racing action and see what the drivers are doing for this qualifying run. And we'll switch right over to that here in a second. Jaden Harrison's looking pretty good, like he's on a flyer. Pinero also looking pretty good and on a flyer. But Mr. Aaron Dell, driver who finished second in the championship last race at the Red Bull Ring, looking like he is doing pretty good. What's going on? One puncher man. Hello, One Punch. Thank you very much for being here. You are number 2 on the leaderboard, but number 1 in my heart, Mr. Punch. Let's take a look at the race details if we can get that going. At Sebring International Raceway, we got 82 degrees Fahrenheit, 65% humidity, partly cloudy skies with a 4-mile-per-hour crosswind. Keys to the race: mastering the bumps, braking effectively and smoothly, optimizing your corner exits. We all know about mastering the bumps here at Sebring. It's a mix of old asphalt and concrete with significant bumps in key areas like turn 1, turn 7, and turn 17, Sunset Bend. Make sure you use a softer suspension setup to help absorb the bumps and to avoid unsettling the car mid-corner. Make sure you brake smoothly and effectively. Many of Sebring's corners require trail braking, such as turn 7, the hairpin, turn 10, Cunningham Corner, as well as turn 17, Sunset Bend. Late braking but car control is critical due to the bumps. Optimizing the corner exits for speed leading out of turn 6, 13, and 16, the Le Mans curve, vital for acceleration under the Ullman Straight. Basically, all of these corners lead you on to the high straight or a high speed section. So make sure that you optimize your car setup for that. We're going to have to take a look at the race details. And of course, this broke on me. Apologies in advance as I restart SDK, as this continues to do this to me over and over again throughout testing. So I apologize for that. But we've got it all cleared up, folks. Andrew Marsan tops the charts with a 2:05 right now. Declan Daniel in P2 with a 2:05.10. Adam Pinero with a 205.76. Peter Arundel, 205.92. Mornay Duploy with a 206.11. Scott Pinero with a 206.20. Dominic Charles, 206.37. Michael Ross with a 207.83. Benson Sunday with a 208.46. Amir Hosen not setting a time yet. Jaden Harrison not setting a time yet. And Sahinder Singh not setting times yet either. Peter Arundel drops down to 5th with a 205.92. Best lap and last lap, but he is out onto the racetrack one more time. Let's take a look at Mr. Harrison as they are about to finish up a lap. No, they are starting a lap there. Jaden Harrison set a purple sector there on the timing tower, but it wasn't a valid lap, unfortunately. Declan Daniel thwarts all attempts for that pole position time with a 204.97. Declan Daniel with 3.7K I rating, A license, 3.68 safety rating. Looking pretty good with his 2 and a bit laps that he has run so far. Let's switch over to Dominic Charles, as they look like they're being able to put some things together. Green through Sector 1, purple through Sector 2, and through Sector 3. The 333 is looking quick, fast, in a hurry right now. Driver sitting in 7th position could top the charts here in just a few minutes. Purple Sector 3 disappears as Dominic Charles gets to Sector 4 on the bottom of the screen there. Still holding on to some good times. Coming onto the Ullman straight. Calm, cool, and collected for Dominic Charles. Jaden Harrison stole that purple Sector 3 away from Dominic Charles on this run of things. See if Charles can stitch this one together. 190 kilometers per hour up to 200 kilometers per hour, and he crosses the line, goes provisional pole with a 204.445, excuse me, and that'll beat over Declan Daniel by around half a second. Let's check out Jaden Harrison's run coming to the final corner. Almost has a brush with the wall coming out of the final corners. 204.444, the time to beat. 203.9, the new time to beat, as Jaden Harrison chucks it in towards turn 1. With just a minute left to go in this qualifying session, finds pole position in front of Dominic Charles and Declan Daniel by half a second. Jaden Harrison, again, purple Sector 1 coming through. Should be able to complete this lap. We have most of the drivers into the pits now, concluded with their qualifying runs. Let's go on board with Jay and see how this lap ends up looking for him. Let's go to the actual cockpit view to see the wheels turn in there. Peter Arundel going down a purple Sector 4. Stole that away from Jaden Harrison on this lap. Let's see how he chucks it into corner 17. Sunset Bend. Jaden Harrison getting towards the inside wall. Brushes out wide just a little bit. Cuts back to the inside over onto the bumps. Pushes the car wide on exit over the apron onto this beautiful airstrip. And that will be it. A 203.929 is all she wrote that last lap around. What about Arundel? When he gets to the line, does he have any improvement to be found? Up into P3, the driver from P2 last time running is sitting aptly put in third place, having a good run of things. Let's talk about the championship standings, shall we, folks, as we view the sights and sounds here at Sebring. Jaden Harrison won last time out at the Red Bull Ring, taking home 25 points. Peter Arundel in P2 with 21 points. Benson Sunday in third with 18. Declan Daniel in fourth with 17, followed by Andrew Marsan in fifth with 16. 15 points for Matthew Lazari. Scott Pinero with 7th place, Michael Ross in 8th, Oylin Ochoa in 9th, Amr Hosen in 10th, Monet Duploy in 11th, Dominic Charles in 12th, Nigel Pollard in 13th, Adam Jacob Pinero in 14th, Lewis Ramilton in 15th, and Emmanuel Ramirez in 16th, taking home 5 points, 1 point down, all the way from third place down to 16th place. So all drivers just separated in that championship by 1 point, but 4 points separate Peter Arundel from Jaden Harrison up at the front of the grid. Qualifying just finishing up now, waiting for the drivers to get gridded. And we'll be ready to get rolling in just a few moments' time, folks. This will be a 40-minute sprint race, but we will be having a mandatory pit stop, or an expected pit stop, I should say. Some drivers could choose to fuel save their way to the checkered flag, but most likely not able to truly do so, as we will expect to see the drivers come down pit road to get a new set of fuel and maybe a new set of tires as well. Switching over to the blimp cam as the grid gets set, it'll be Jaden Harrison, Dominic Charles, Peter Arundel. Why are we doing this? We have this lovely beautiful scene for Jaden Harrison, Dominic Charles on that first row, Peter Arundel and Sahinder Singh on row 2, Declan Daniel and Andrew Marsan on row number 3, Scott Pinero and Monet Duploy in the 4th row, Adam Pinero, Benson Sunday, Michael Ross, and Amir Hosen will round things out. And they're away, folks. Green, green, green. Jaden Harrison, Dominic Charles, Peter Arundel, Andrew Marsan, and Declan Daniel all squabbling for position. It looks like Declan Daniel there on the inside of Marsan trying to get one by, but it looks like Michael Ross went off there at turn 1 and might have taken out Amir Hosen as well. Let's head back over to the action because we still got some more side-by-side conglomerates going on, and that'll be Declan Daniel and Andrew Marsan. We got 3 Calypso Racing drivers nose to tail right now, but I doubt it'll stay that way for very long. Declan Daniel and Marsan gaining 1 position apiece. Sahinder Singh in that 3rd position, losing out 2 on the good. Most importantly, Jaden Harrison gaining a half a second gap already to the field, almost 0.8 of a second to Dominic Charles back in P2. And this will actually be Adam Pinero trying to work his way around Sahinder Singh. And can he work his way past Sahinder? I think he does manage to do it right now. The Wolf driver from Trinidad and Tobago doing a good job in that 828 to get by Sahinder. Now he's under threat as well. The next Pinero brother trying to get past Singh. But Singh covers off the inside line. The 833 Wolf car trying to close down the gap, and does so pretty well as all the drivers head over to the runoff area on the entrance to Le Mans corner as they get set up down the Ullman Straight and head towards the first time that they're going to pass the line. A little bit of a look there from Adam Pinero around the outside now of Andrew Marsan. Can he get the move done and dusted? He does get the move done and dusted, but that's actually Sahinder Singh. He kept the position in front of. Sahinder Singh was on the inside line. 2:10 coming out from the leader, 2:10.5 that last time around. And expect to see that time come down and improve lap after lap, folks. 1.6 the gap from Jaden Harrison to Dominic Charles. Peter Arundel running in third, Declan Daniel in fourth, Andrew Marsan in fifth, Pinero in sixth, Singh in seventh, Scott Pinero in eighth. I thought Amr Hosen was having a look on Monet Deploy, the driver in 10th position who ended up losing 2 on the good, but it looks like he's okay. Let's get a replay real quick of what happened on that opening lap, and we'll get right back over the racing action. Here's Michael Ross in the 151, the orange and white livery on the inside line. Oh, he does collect Monet Dupuy coming in through turn 1 around the outside, but Monet not too worse on that situation, but Michael Ross did go bowling here at Sebring. Scott Wortman, thank you very much for being here in the chat. Says the Pineros are slow today. Well, they might be slow in the qualifying session, but they're seemingly picking up the pace a little bit there. Marsan and Daniel coming through the final corner. .104.8, 104.8, 105.0, 105.2, 105.2 for Daniel and Marsan, the Calypso Racing drivers. Doing this thing, trying to snap back on the Pinero brothers. Makes a nice little switchback, but cooks it under the brakes. And Scott Pinero kept his head on a swivel, saw that coming from a mile away. Able to get that switchback, and the switchback looked good. And he did a great job of keeping that one calm, cool, and collected from start to finish. Monet Deploy getting argy-bargy with Benson Sunday now, leading down into the hairpin corner. Under the brakes, things are looking good for Monet. And Benson Sunday falls back. Monet back where he started this race in P8. The number 38 Red Bull driver looking pretty good right now. Let's head back over to the battle between Dominic Charles and Jaden Harrison just to check in very briefly, because Jaden Harrison has been leading this race now quite some time. It's been 5 minutes and 40 seconds. And it looks like he's about to go unchallenged for this entirety. Dominic Charles 1.5 off the back of Jaden Harrison and trailing lap after lap, just a couple of thousandths, but it's enough for Jaden Harrison to keep on walking away forward and opening up the gap to around 1.6 seconds. Although it will come down through turn 17, Sunset Bend, it will slinky back to where it was, or is Dominic Charles just gaining that much more speed and momentum on the car in front? He is absolutely sending it right now to the wall, trying to close down the gap. 204.578, 204.754. Again, a couple tenths lost out between Dominic Charles and Jaden Harrison up at the front, the tip of the spear. Now, Sahinder Singh has his work cut out for him. He's got to get past Benson Sunday. He's lost 6 positions so far, makes a move at the inside of turn 1. That move is successful, and it will stick. Sahinder Singh getting by Benson Sunday, who is right where he started this race in P10. Sahinder's down 5, though. All the other drivers on the grid right where they started, except for Declan Daniel, Andrew Marsan, and Adam Pinero, who's up 3 positions tonight, starting the race in 9th position. Now sitting in 6th place. Couple puffs of smoke coming out here at the hairpin corner, but nothing too egregious or nothing to be alarmed about. I like the inverted colors from the Pinero brothers. Adam Pinero has the blue predominant colors and the white stripe on the right-hand side, while Scott Pinero has the white predominant color and the blue stripe on the right-hand side of his vehicle. Every driver is, of course, in the Porsche 992 Cup car. So equal machinery throughout the field. No advantages to be gained on machinery alone. It all will come down to your setups and how well you can drive the wheels off these vehicles. Amr Hosen chasing down Michael Ross, the driver we saw early on in the race, have a slip, trip, and fall through turn 1. Collecting Monet Duploy, being chased down by Amr Hosen, number 81 driver from Trinidad and Tobago. Looking at the lap times coming in: 204.3, 204.8, 204.8, 205.1, 207.09, and 205.9 from Adam Pinero. So Pinero closing the gap down on Marsan. Mike looking like he wants to cut off the nose of the number 81 from behind. Manages to do so, leading down into turn number 1. Carried a lot more speed and momentum than Amr Hussein was able to. Keep an eye on this battle as it's the closest one in the grid so far. Battle for P not last, as Lewis Ramilton is not joining us for this event. It looks like the number 44 driver did not take the grid, so it'll leave 12 drivers remaining, and the chances to get one of those elusive stream decks up for grabs still. There goes Amr, a little deep there, cooked it under the braking, and it looks like Michael Ross will escape with his life. The number 151 driver keeping it on a swivel and just narrowly avoiding disaster there from getting collected by Amr Hosen. Switching over to Declan Daniel and Peter Arundel, the battle for the last position on the podium. 204.6, 204.9, 205.4, 205.1. Declan Daniel catching up to Arundel pretty substantially, and it looks like Pinero is catching up to Marsan. We'll keep an eye on the Calypso Racing drivers, nose to tail no longer, but on the racetrack they're both chasing down and being chased down by their opponents around them. One of the things I love about races like this is we still have a pit stop left to go. In around 10 minutes, we'll be looking for the drivers to come in, split this race down the middle, and that will shake things up, and it'll test your endurance capabilities as well. How good are you at hitting the pit speed limiter? How good are you at getting it slowed down at the line? How efficient are you at getting into your box and out? Time will only tell and the dividends will be paid to those who are successful at mastering the pit stop strategy versus those who maybe perhaps did not practice. Arundel getting chased down by Declan Daniel. The number 31 and the 62 are about to go after it head to head. In just a few moments' time, the gap has been closing down pretty steadily and continues to drop down. Hovered around 0.2 of a second, and now it's up to 0.6 of a second coming down onto the Ullman Straight. The slipstream will be mighty effective coming down the Ullman Straight. No DRS zones here. Although we do have DRS zones, we're not using DRS because these are fixed wing cars. Declan Daniel picking a little bit of an alternate line through the final corner. And hopefully that doesn't slow down his attack on Arundel too badly. Next drivers to cross the line will be Pinero and Monet Deploy. Monet actually closing down the gap on Scott Pinero, the driver who is improving pretty well throughout this race. They're about to go side by side coming down in towards turn 3, but it looks like Monet backs out of it, allows Pinero to walk away with his life for this very moment. It doesn't want to let him walk away with the position for too long, I would imagine. Deploy closing down the gap on the driver in front. That'll be Scott Pinero. Doing a good job of staying within spitting distance of the car in front, but all this battling is allowing Sahinder Singh to catch up. You can see that driver in the rear view. Monet Deploy doing a good job staying all over the rear end. Now he's going to go side by side and on the attack through the back half of the circuit, through one of the fastest sections of the racing track. Hopefully not getting an off track there as the long way around the outside closes down to the inside. They're going to go wheel to wheel and continue this battle. Monet crosses back over, trying to get a run down the Ullman Straight out of Lamont Corner. Give him a little bump drafts in there. Give him a little bump. You guys got to work together here to get this move done and dusted on Scott Pinero. And the bump was not given in the rear end to Deploy. A much needed push there was not granted, unfortunately. But this allows us to see a little bit more of the drivers getting racy with each other. And Sahinder Singh follows through on Pinero, but Pinero covers it off. Sahinder gets backed up into traffic now. They're going to go side by side through the hairpin corner. A little bit of a wiggle for Pinero. Sahinder follows the optimum line as Monet Deploy falls further back. Steep battle right up ahead of these gentlemen. Sahinder Singh chasing down Scott Pinero this time around. And they're going to go side by side as they cross the line. And leading down in towards turn one, who's going to have the optimum line? It looks like Sahinder Singh is going to be the one to crisscross applesauce this time, carrying enough speed around the outside, will carry enough to get ahead of Scott Pinero, who can do nothing about that one this time around. Scott Pinero chasing down Sahinder Singh out in front. The driver is down 3 and 1 position respectively. Adam Pinero's up 3. Andrew Marsan and Declan Daniel up 1 apiece. Peter Arundel right where he started in 3rd position. Arundel about 0.6 away from getting attacked from Declan Daniel. Let's take a look at Declan, as this one's been brewing up for quite some time. Last lap around, 205, 204.88. So not closing down very quickly, but still closing down. 204s for the two front runners, 205.9, 204.8 again for those in 3rd and 4th. But it is one thing to catch, is a whole nother ball game to pass. Now, drivers will be tested here at Sebring on their passing ability. Drivers coming through Gurney Bend and into the hairpin turn, out of the Fangio chicane and into Cunningham corner. Scott Pinero closing down the gap on Sahinder Singh there. Take a look at this as they approach Cunningham corner now. Pinero on the optimum line, the driver from Trinidad and Tobago. Tries to go for a switchback, but Sahinder Singh covers it off very well. Driving pretty defensively right now is Sahinder Singh to try to keep back the attacks from Scott Pinero, the 833 Wolf driver. Good call, Silver Turkey. You're absolutely right. Amr with the early pit. He's down pit road for quite some time. 25, 26, 27 seconds. I wonder if he will go a lap down due to this service. Seeing Monet Duploy actually take his pit stop, 43.3 being his total pit lane time, 11.97 for the pit stop time. Must have obviously gotten that repair done. Let's take a look at Amr, if he's going to get back up and rolling here within the next couple of seconds or not. Oh no, Amr actually jumped to the pits. Let's see if we can see what happened here. This looks like we're coming into Cunningham now. And this is all on his lonesome. Oh, and he just takes to the runoff road and Ooh, narrowly escapes death. And that'll be his collision and then the warp back to pit lane. I have a feeling like that'll actually be terminal for him. And Amr will not be rejoining the field. The driver in the lead of this race coming through the mall corner and onto the Ullman straight now. We haven't taken a look at the 604 driver very much. Let's take a gander at Jaden Harrison, the DWR Simcope Setups driver, as he's had a pretty quiet run of events tonight. And I believe he is setting himself up for a pit stop. No, he is not. Just kidding. 5.2 seconds in the lead at 22:23 minutes. Doing a good job at controlling the field right now. 2:04.6 being that last lap. His best lap being a 2:04.29. Ahead of Dominic Charles by, again, 5.3 seconds. Whose best lap is a 2:04.71. So not too poor of a lap, to say the least. Scott Pinero into pit lane now. We are seeing some pit stop calls being taken. Scott Pinero rolling out a pit stop now. 11:02 being his pit time. And 41:57 for his pit lane time. Looking pretty good for an overcut. He got one done on Monet Duploy. If he can keep up his pace and consistency, he will gain back the positions that he lost during the pit stop cycle. And Amr Hussein is back up on track after 3 minutes and 26 seconds. Of course, that includes the tow time as well. But he's back up and running again. Back into P12. One lap down on the field. Taking a look at the battle between Monet Duploy and Scott Pinero. Monet driving the number 38. Scott Pinero driving the 833. Out in front, the Wolf car with the white and blue. Monet just trying to play mind games with Scott in front, going for that inside line through one of the fastest sections of the track. Intimidating his opponent just a little bit, but it didn't quite work on Scott Pinero. Sahinder Singh into pits. Adam Pinero into pits as well. Benson Sunday decides to come down for his service also. Oh, Lee Toledo's. And right into the mix of things is Sahinder Singh. Literally right into the middle of this epic battle, separated by half a second. I'm not sure how he found the daylight to squeeze in between these guys, but he found a gap and he made that one work. They're saying the Calypso Racing driver now back into some mixes with Scott Pinero and Monet Duploy. Jaden Harrison, Declan Daniel inherits the lead as Jaden Harrison comes into the pits. Dominic Charles into the pits. Peter Arundel into the pits. And so is Marsan. 4 drivers coming down pit road, but Declan Daniel decides to stay out and go for the overcut. Oh, Sahinder Singh with a big mistake. Mounts the curbs. Slows down the pack battle between Monet and Pinero. Now, no bump drafting favor returned here as they come out of Le Mans and down the back straightaway. Monet on the optimum line, it would seem. He's going to carry a ton of speed out of the final corner and in towards turn 1. Both drivers slam on the brakes coming through turn 1. It's looking pretty nip and tuck for them. But Scott Pinero handily up the road. By 1.5 seconds now is the gap, and that'll be very challenging for it to come down with just around 11 minutes remaining in this event. Side by side we go. Headed down into the hairpin turn. Will Monet get squeezed onto the asphalt one more time? He got a little squeeze there, but nothing to write home about. The 16 driver still leads over the 38. Declan Daniel makes his strip down pit lane. And it should be around a 42-second stop for him. Giving the lead back over to Jaden Harrison and Dominic Charles. Declan Daniel makes that overcut work, actually. 42.6 second pit lane time, 10.8 second pit stop time. Will inherit third in front of Arundel by 3 and a bit seconds. Arundel served around the same amount of time in the pits. Agreed, Silver Turkey. This is an epic battle. One of my favorite things about racing is watching any battle take place. I don't care if it's battle for last or first place. And this is a good, spicy battle that has been going on very fairly between these guys. I hope they keep it clean, calm, cool, and collected towards the end of this event. A little bit of a lockup from Sahinder Singh out in front will slow down Monet's run. Oh, thank you very much for the update, Silver Tucky. Oh, and a switch for position coming through Cunningham corner. Looks like Monet Duploy is able to get by Sahinder Singh. A little bit of a mistake there from Sahinder Singh, and Monet needed to capitalize where he could, and he sure did. And that's one way to make a pass stick. And thank you very much for that update, Silver Turkey. Amr lost force feedback during the race, and that's what sent him back to the pits, and that would actually make a ton of sense why he was locking up so heavily coming into Cunningham. And Dominic Charles into pit lane for the second time of asking, and he will give up P2 in this race because of it. Potentially something wrong with his pit stop. Ooh, something is terribly wrong for Dominic Charles as he tumbles down the order on his way out of pit road now. It'll be 16 seconds in the pits. And a 40, 50 second stop for him. Oof. With 7 minutes remaining, it's Jaden Harrison leading the charge in front of Declan Daniel for Calypso Racing, the number 31 driver, looking pretty well. Peter Arundel in third position. Just reading the comments. Benson Sunday, no. Benson Sunday says in chat, I ended up getting a penalty for unsafe pit entry and exit when I never entered the pit. Network error, he says. That is super unfortunate and an error that we don't like to see during a paid platform that we're racing with via iRacing. But thank you very much for reporting back and letting us know what's going on. Super unfortunate way to end your race, brother. Peter Arundel in third with Marsan in fourth. Adam Pinero leads over Scott Pinero. Adam Pinero is actually the driver who's up most positions right now. Up 4 from where he started in 9th, now resting his head in 5th. Scott Pinero's up 1, Monet Duploy up 1, Sahinder Singh down 4, Dominic Charles down 7 after taking a second pit stop of the night. Michael Ross is up 1 in 10th, Benson Sunday down 1, Amar Hossain is right where he started in 12th. Benson Sunday says, big up Pappies. Absolutely like to thank our sponsor, Pappy's Fricken Chicken, home of Brian's Fricken Chicken. Really appreciate all the love and support you guys are giving to Pappy's. Star Just Star cheering for Dominic Charles. Unfortunate turn of events for Dominic Charles down in 9th position. Started off the race in 2nd and had to take a second pit stop, assuming that he forgot to take fuel to make it to the end, or there was something wrong with his settings. He must not have had enough to make it to the very end. Exactly, Silver Turkey, exactly. Either forgot fuel or short fueled for that first stint. Only he and God know what went wrong there. Check in with the battle as Monet Duploy closes down on Scott Pinero. He's been chomping at the bit, trying to get by Scott for a while now. It looks like we'll have a run down in towards 3. But Monet Duploy running around the same laps as Scott Pinero. currently. Fastest lap going to Monet, 2:05.3 compared to a 2:06.1 from Scott Pinero. So the fastest lap is definitely there, but is the consistency there for Monet Deploy? If I'm not mistaken, this will actually be white flag, checker flag this time around. As with just 2 minutes left on the clock when the leader crossed the line, it should be the final lap of the event, running 2:04s. Keep on board with this battle for as long as we can. Deploy chasing down Scott Pinero. Coming into the final corner now. Closing down the gap by a lot, but not getting close enough to that wall on the inside line, avoiding the bumps as the setup is probably not developed to handle them so close to the wall, or maybe he's just avoiding trouble. 2:06.1, 2:06.1 from Pinero and Monet. Coming through turn one, closer than they have been in a long time. Declan Daniel, 14 seconds adrift from Jaden Harrison out in front. Oh no, and a big off from Scott will allow Monet Deploy to skate right on by, but will it be a snap back coming into the hairpin corner? I think he's too far back to make this one work at this time of asking. But from green to checkered flag, it's all been up to this man, Jaden Harrison from DWR Sim Coach Setups, the number 604 driver. Done a great job driving this one home, and he will take the checkered flag. Jaden Harrison J in P1. Trailing behind by around 15 seconds will be Declan Daniel from Calypso Racing. Our commandant and leader, Declan Daniel, aka Cali, bringing home P2. Peter Arundel in third. Andrew Marsan will cross the line in fourth position. The first of the Pineros, Adam, in fifth. Monet Deploy in sixth, with Scott Pinero in seventh. Sander Singh next in eighth, with Dominic Charles not having a great run of events, bringing it home in ninth. Michael Ross tumbling down into 10th position after a slip, trip, and fall at T1 early on in the race. Brings it home in 10th. I was just going to avoid the topic Silver Turkey, but since you brought it up, that was a love tap across the line. Not sure what that was about, but definitely a love tap across the line. Checker flag waves. We'll be right back, folks, with some driver interviews. Make sure you stand by as we get the drivers gridded up and ready to go. Jaden Harrison, Declan Daniel, and Peter Arundel, please come to the green room, and we'll see you guys in just a few moments.
I'm doing great. It was a another challenging race in this car, but I guess I took advantage of some other people's misfortune coming along and was able to grab a P3 in the end. I was pretty worried. I was battling with Declan before, and he was right behind me, and I kind of locked up going into the hairpin, and yeah, so that's how I fell back, and I realized Andrew was very close behind me, and I said, all right, just try to keep the tires from overheating anymore, and try to put in some clean laps, and let's see if I could build a gap again, and maybe even catch up to the guys ahead, but wasn't able to catch Declan until I was within 2.5 seconds at the end, but not enough to think about getting a pass for P2.
Yeah, not enough there at the very end, but it looked like you were still on for a good haul of points this time around. Is there anything in this race that you wish went differently at all?
Just that one minor mistake that locked up the tires and went wide into the hairpin, so I lost about 5 seconds there. Luckily, it didn't come back on and interrupt anyone else's race, but other than that, I think it went okay.
Beautiful run of events, Peter Arundel. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Is there anybody that you'd like to thank or anybody that you want to mention before I let you go?
Just want to thank the organizers for putting on this event, and also my family for giving me the time to come do this race tonight. So yeah, thanks to everyone involved.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to talk to the fearless leader and commandant next. Any words for him next?
What was that, Jaden?
Declan.
Yeah, just say good race. Tell him good race.
Will do, brother. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yep. Okay.
Let's talk to the man, Declan Daniel, who came out in P2. Declan, did you expect to come out in P2 after the start of this race?
No way. I expected to fall, but it's a race, you know. You just take your chances and you see what happens at the end, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
100%. Started out in P5, worked your way through the grid early on, and you were battling with your teammate for a little bit. Now tell us about that. Team orders applied, team orders not applied. How does that end up working out?
Nah, it's what's the McLaren rules? Papaya rules, right? Yeah, just don't take each other out. You can race, just don't take each other out. It's like F1.
That's
But yeah,
fair.
we understand each other. We know we here to race and have fun at the same time. So I put him under some pressure and got through, and I took it. It's just how it is. He would have done the same to me.
100%. And it looks like you and Marsan race across this platform a lot together. So getting to know each other is no stranger to between the two of you. How about Sahinder Singh? I haven't seen you guys race with him a lot, but he is newer to Calypso racing. Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, there's actually more people who are not running the livery. So Peter Arundel is Calypso racing as well.
Aha, just in disguise.
Yeah, he doesn't run the livery. I don't know why, but yeah, Shahinder is not new. He's a former karter, so he has experience. This car track combo at these temperatures is kind of tricky, so it could catch anybody out. They caught Peter out. Yeah, and I mean, like, one mistake. He made one mistake all race, and that cost him a position. So it was just about being consistent and trying to make it to the end.
Yeah, trying to make it to the end, especially under these tricky conditions. Running a sprint-like endurance event as well with the pit stop. Saw the pit stop fluctuate from around 41 seconds to 43 seconds. Did you have any issues with your stop at all?
No, my stop was fine. I think I probably lost time on the exit in the pit because I kind of spun the tires. Still can't get this launch right. But other than that, it was fine.
Beautiful. Is there anything else in your race that you'd like to mention or anybody that you'd like to thank before I wrap things up with you?
I'd like to thank Peter for giving me P2. I appreciate it. Don't do it too often though, because I don't want any freebies. But nah, it was just bad luck. I just saw him go straight, man. It was crazy. But yeah, it was a fun race. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Thank to you for the stream again. We heard really good things the first time and from first race, and we really appreciate your insight and commentary. It's really cool to listen to and watch.
Awesome. It is my pleasure. I'm glad you're hearing nothing but good things, and weed out all the bad things people are saying anyways, okay? Just discard them to the side for now.
Oh, and one more thing. Big up to Pappy's. Thanks for the broadcast. Thanks for sponsoring the broadcast. We appreciate you. One love. That's it.
100%, brother. Thank you so much for that shout out. I'll make sure to give them a big thanks at the end of the stream as well. We did mention them because the commentators, or the commentators? No, the commenters in the chat were mentioning Pappy's. So we did give them a nice shout out during the stream, and I'll make sure to give them another shout towards the end. But thank you so much, Declan Daniel, for joining me in the booth. Have a wonderful night, and we'll talk to Jaden Harrison next.
Yep, you too. Bye.
Bye. Jaden Harrison's not going to like this. He's streaming his race right now. But we got to do it. We got to talk to the man, the myth, the legend, Jaden Harrison, a.k.a. Jay. Without any further delay, let's go ahead and grab Jaden. Jaden, sorry to interrupt. I know you were streaming there in the race comm room, but we got to get an interview with the man, the myth, the legend, the 604 driver himself. How are you doing?
Good.
Another big fat W for you here with Calypso Racing. How do you feel?
I feel good. I mean, I thought it would be closer because Dominic had some good pace in practice, but I guess I just found some extra time in before the race.
Yeah, you almost didn't get a lap in right before the qualifying session ended. I was honestly sweating bullets and worried about you, but I'm glad to see you were able to get that lap time in just in the nick of time. Were you worried yourself at all?
Not really, because even if I didn't get a lap in, it would I would have gotten at least a baseline lap in. So it was fine, I guess. But yeah.
Absolutely, for sure. It's great to hear your confidence, your abilities to be able to produce a lap time, and your consistency has reigned dominance here across multiple leagues that I commentate on. Now, is it just due to a lot of practice, comfortability with the car? What is the secret sauce, Jaden Harrison?
I actually have no idea because I kind of just logged on earlier today, just with like, a few laps just to kind of get the feeling, and then just came on to practice, and I guess was just feeling fine by like race time. So I don't know, it's because I really don't like this car, so I have no clue.
Well, you might not like the car, but the track car combo definitely likes you or suits you, because you've done nothing but win ever since I have met you, Jaden Harrison. Is there anything in your race that went awry or anything that you'd like to mention that we may have missed?
Not really, no. It was pretty calm, but it kind of sucks that Dominic got that drive through, that whole penalty, because I think he just barely jumped the line. It would have been like maybe a closer race in the pits. I don't know, but that kind of sucked.
Oh, that's what happened to him. I was wondering why he went down pit road for the second time, and it was a drive-through penalty that he ended up getting in that second stint. Super unfortunate for Dominic Charles, but a good race for you nonetheless. Jaden Harrison, appreciate the insight and letting us know what was going on through the driver's head and through the driver's chat. Is there anybody that you'd like to thank or anybody that you want to mention before we let you go?
Yeah, I'll just quickly big up my team, Darkwing Racing, sponsored by SimCoach Setups, for supporting the Porsche Cup entry in this championship.
For sure. Thank them a lot. Appreciate you, Jaden Harrison. I'll let you get back over to the driver's room. I appreciate you. Have a great night, and I will talk to you next week.
Yes, sir.
Bye. That's going to wrap things up for us tonight, folks. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag. I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi, aka The Real High. Thank you very much to our sponsor, Pappy's Chicken, for all of your chicken needs on the island. Make sure you check them out. They provide us with the money and the funds we need for prizes as well as the commentary. So thank them so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much to Sahinder Singh, Silver Turkey, Star Just Star, Benson Sunday. Thank you guys for joining us in chat. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff. Have a wonderful night. Be safe. And as always, see you next week. Bye-bye, folks.